This conference will now be recorded.
Profile, switch workspace. Our workspace is November training, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday I told you that about one argument method, two argument method, and three argument method, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes,
I
Ram.
told you how to call these methods by using, obviously all these methods are instance methods.
Instance.
Those methods needs to be called using a object. Without object, you cannot call these methods, correct? So I
Yes.
Yes,
created the
Ram.
object first. I created the object of class A, and using that object, I'm calling M1, I'm calling M2, I'm calling M3, and passing the values to those methods. Because while calling the method, I need to pass the values because this method is expecting a value to be passed.
Value.
This method is expecting a value to be passed. What value it is expecting? It is
String.
expecting string value.
String.
Yeah, Ramji, like whenever this topic comes, you mind explaining this to me a little bit clearly? See, now there we have void M1, right? Like
Mm.
string return type. So what is the difference between that return type and these parameters? Both values will be passed. I'm a little bit confused over there.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
So now if at all we say int M2, so we'll return a integer value, right?
So this is your return type, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is the
And
value
then
that is
we
going to
are
return. Whether you're returning integer value or string value, what value you're returning from this method return type. This is you're returning some value, that is the return type. If you don't return any,
yes,
if you don't use a return keyword, if you don't use a return keyword, and if you're not returning any value, then it should be a void, right?
yes.
Yeah.
That is the
I
return type,
understood that, but
and this is
okay,
the
Yes.
input parameters that you're passing.
okay.
For example, if I have a method called add method, I
Ramji,
want
are
to add two
breaking in
numbers.
and out. I can't hear you. Hello?
Is everyone able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ramji.
Hello?
What about you, Harsha?
I
Yes,
can't
I
hear you,
can
Ramji.
hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Harsha, Harsha, please raise
Hello?
your hand. One second. Harsha, are you there? Harsha, can you mute your microphones? I'm getting a weird noise from your microphones. I don't know whoever it is. Please mute your microphone. Divya,
Ramji, I think it's Divya.
yeah, Divya, can you please mute your microphone?
Yeah, I muted Ramji.
Yeah, let Harsha join back. Then I'll continue the class because he has some question. Divya, if you're there, there's some weird noise coming from your microphone. There are two microphones, right? One laptop and one phone. I want you to mute both.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, Harsha, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Ramji.
Yeah.
I
Suppose
don't
if
know
you
what's the
write
problem. Yeah,
suppose if you write a method called add method,
yeah,
so it is a two argument method, right?
yes,
So if you want to call this method, what you'll do? You have to just call obj dot add, and this add method is expecting two values, correct?
Yes.
You have to supply those
Yes.
values to that method. You have to supply the input. They are the input parameters. You have to supply the input to the method. So obj
Okay.
dot add. So 5 comma 6, something like this, correct?
Okay.
I have to pass
Yes.
this value 5 to this variable A. I have to pass this value 6 to this variable B. So I'm passing the input to this method. Then this method will take the input and calculate the sum of those two numbers and returns the output.
Oh, okay. So instead of declaring a local variable, we are declaring methods like that. Is that what it is, Ramji? Like the variables like that. It is like, is it like that? So
So hold on. I'm not talking about local variable set. I never spoke about local variables. You don't
yeah.
bring the topics which I never spoke.
No, I mean like instead of declaring the
Let me
instead of declaring method variables in this method.
please let me complete.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a method. This is a method, and these are the arguments of a method. Don't worry
Yes.
about whether they are local variables or not. Don't worry about
No,
it.
no.
You
I
can
mean, I
declare
did.
the arguments. No, I'm asking you. I'm telling you. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that now. You'll come to know
Okay.
everything. What I'm telling is to answer your question. So this is a method which is taking the input arguments. This is the first argument, and this is the second argument. Yes, you can declare the argument like this. You can declare the second argument like this. You can declare the first argument as an integer, second argument as an integer. So these are
Okay.
the method arguments. Okay, I'll talk about local
Okay.
variables and all those things in some time.
Okay. I mean, like that is not my question actually. Like instead of declaring the variables inside the method, we can call them like this. That is what I want to ask. I did not know why I said local.
In case if you declare the variables inside the method
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
how will you supply the value to this variable? You have to give some input to the method, right? Okay. For the first time when I'm calling this method, I'm supplying 5 and 6. For the next time I'm calling the method, I'll supply 6 and 7. Correct?
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
supplying
Okay.
some input. I want to add two numbers and I'm supplying the input. Correct? But if you
Yes.
declare it as a zero argument method, I should not supply anything.
Okay.
Yes.
So then
Okay.
which numbers will add? I have to give the input. I have to give the input to the method. So it should be a method argument, right?
Okay.
If I don't declare as a two argument method, and if I declare it as a zero argument method, if I declare
Yeah.
it as a zero argument method, I should not pass any values, correct?
Yeah. But up there,
Yes.
Ramji, we can do like int I is equal to object dot add. So it will still add the numbers, right?
What is that? Int I is equal to
Obj dot add.
int I is equal to obj dot which number it will add?
The A and B maybe.
What is the value of A and what is the value of B?
We did not give it. If at all we initialize, if at all we give values in there, A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 6.
Okay, you want to give here?
Yes.
1 second. Okay. It will add when I call this method, what will happen? When I call add method, what will happen? 5 plus 6
It
is
should,
added,
5 plus
correct?
6, 11.
should be
Yes.
added. Yeah.
5 plus 6.
Hold on. So you'll get 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
To add, 1 second. If I want to add 6 and 7, what will you do?
Okay, I got it now. So for to give like different variables, we use that. Yeah, I understood, Ramji. Thank you.
You have to supply the input. You have to supply the input to the method. Whether you want to
Okay.
add 5 and 6, or whether you want to add 6 and 7, whether you want to add 28 and 29, what values, what numbers you want to add, correct?
Okay, yeah,
So
understood.
that is the arguments. That is the input arguments. So
Yeah.
int A, comma int B. So you can supply any value. So while
Okay.
calling
Yeah.
this method, we supply those values 10,
Okay.
11 and 20, 33. Correct?
Yes.
So for the first time when you call this add method, you are passing 10 to this variable A, you are passing 11 to the variable B. So 10 plus 11 is 21 will be written back.
Okay, Ramji. I got
So
it.
for the next, no, I'm telling everyone. So for the next time, when you call the add method, you supply 20 to the variable A, you supply 33 to the variable B. So 20 plus 33, 53 will be written back. So this is a reusable functionality. This is a reusable logic to add two numbers. You can add any two numbers by using this logic.
Okay.
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 Did everyone get that?
Yes.
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 Okay. So, okay, I told about uh, these methods yesterday. So what I told that there's a method called M1 which accepts one argument. There's a method called M2 which accepts one argument. There's a method called M3 which accepts two arguments. Correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
And I also told you how to call these methods by creating an object.
Yes.
And one more thing I told
Yes.
yesterday is, one more thing I told is what is an array? So array is a data structure which stores data at an index, correct? At index location. The first element that you're storing in array will be stored at index number 0. The
Zero.
second element that you're storing in the array is stored at index number 1. The third element will be stored at index number 2 and so on. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I also told you what is meant by for loop. So using the for loop, you can loop the things again and again. You need not write 100 statements. Instead, you can write one statement and loop it again. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So the for loop syntax also I told you, for, open the bracket, and inside that you declare a variable
Variable.
int 0 and give a condition and give the incremental operator, and in between you should have a semicolons.
Samples.
Correct? And
Yes.
open
Yes.
the flower
Yes.
bracket and close the flower bracket and write the logic inside the for loop. And whatever
Yeah.
the logic you write inside the for loop, so that logic will be repeated again and again. In every loop, that logic will be repeated.
Okay.
Any questions on SD's class now?
No.
No.
No,
No.
Ramji.
Okay, so now in that case, let me write one more method. Void M4, void M4. So I declared a class B variable. I did not declare a integer variable. I did not declare a string variable. I did not declare a, I mean, this method is accepting a class. This method is not accepting integer value. So because you cannot pass integer value into this variable,
Okay.
you
Okay.
cannot pass string value into the variable. You cannot pass boolean value into that variable, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So what you can pass into this variable, see, this is an
Class.
integer A, you are passing value 6 into this variable A, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are
Yes.
passing string value into this
String
variable,
values.
that's the string variable.
Yes.
You are passing the integer value into this integer variable, and you are passing string value into this string variable, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
so when I call this method, when I say obj.m4, what value I should pass into that variable?
Mm,
Sorry, tell me. Can you be louder? Can you be louder, June? You are asking me to pass 3. Hyun, can you please be louder? Say yes if it is yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So what is 3? It is integer, right?
integer. Yeah.
Yes.
So can you pass the integer into class B variable? Can you say like this?
No.
Can you say
No.
class B variable equal to 3?
No.
So then can you say class B variable equal to string?
No.
no.
Can you say class
No.
B variable equal to false?
No.
No.
We don't know.
No.
You cannot say that, right?
Yeah.
No.
Because if you want to store false, you have to store it in a boolean variable, not in class B variable, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you want to store integer, you have to store it in an integer variable. If you want to store a string, you have to store it in a string variable. But
Yes.
in class B variable, what you can store? You can store class B object. As simple as that.
Me of B.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
You can
okay.
store class B object in the class B variable, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That is what I told in yesterday's class. So the class A object is stored in the class A variable.
Yes.
Yes.
So now what should I pass? I have to pass class B object.
Class B object.
I create a class B object and pass the object into this variable. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Ramji.
So when you're calling the M4, when you're calling the M4, this M4 is expecting a class B object. It is expecting a class B object because the class B variable can allow only class B objects.
Yeah.
Okay.
So similarly, when I say the return type is integer, so if I don't return any value, it will give a compilation error.
Yes.
So I have to
Yes.
return a value. I have to
Return
return
value.
5 or some integer value, whatever it might be, 5, 6, 7, whatever it might be.
Yes.
Correct? And when I say the return type is string, I have to return a string value. I cannot return a integer value. It is
Integer
giving a
value.
compilation error.
Yes.
When I say return type is string, because this is how I declare the method. This is called, I told this is called method declaration or method signature. So say that. Did I say about the method signature?
Yes.
Everyone?
No.
No, Ram.
Okay.
No.
Method,
No.
No.
method
No.
signature.
Answer.
No.
No.
Okay, forget about
No.
it. No worry. So this is how I declared the method, right? I told that the name of the method is M4. The return type is string, and it is a one argument method. It can accept only class B objects, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this
Yes.
is how I declared my method. When I say the return type is string, when I declared it as a return type is string, I have to return only the string value. I cannot return integer value. So if you return integer value, the Java compiler will tell you that, hey boss, you declared the return type as a string, but you're returning a integer value, so I don't compile this program. That's what the Java compiler is reporting, correct?
Yes.
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 So I have to return a string value. Agreed? Any questions?
No, Ramji.
No, Ramji.
No.
Suppose if I declare the return type as a boolean, I have to return the boolean value. Correct?
False. Yes.
If I declare the return type as class A, what should I return?
Class.
You can return class.
Class. Class.
No.
Class means what class? Should I return
Object.
class?
Object.
Should I return class like this?
No.
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 Then
The object of the
Object.
class.
Yes.
we have to return the object of class A.
Object of the class A.
When you say the return type is A, you have to return the object of class A.
Object of class.
Yeah.
When you say return type is B, you have to return the object of class B. If you say return type is B and return the object of class A, it is giving a compilation error.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So you have to return the object of class B. And if you say return type is string, class C, you have to return the object of class C. Getting it?
Yes,
Yes.
Ramji.
So this is how you write a method. This is the method name. This is the return type of the method. This is the input argument.
Yeah.
You supply the input to the method and you are returning the output. So when you specify the return type is C, you can return only class C object. When you specify the input is class B variable, you can pass only class B objects.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Ramji.
So once again, let me remove all these things now. Let me remove all these things. I don't want these things. Let me make the program simple. I hope everyone understood the topic, how to write a method and how to call a method and what are the arguments of a method and what is the return type, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Ramji.
Okay. So similarly, if I have one method called void m1 which acts as integer array. You can give any name. You can give Ramji also here, correct?
Yes.
This is just a variable name, correct?
Yes.
How do I call this method? I have to definitely this is a instance method. I have to create an object of a class, correct? And using the object I can call dot m1 and what should I pass? I have to pass an array. It is expecting this variable you can pass integer array to this variable, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Let me create one array. Int a is equal to new int of 3. This is how I create the array, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I can pass that A because A is an integer array.
Okay.
A
Okay.
is integer array. I'm passing that integer array to this variable.
Okay.
So now when I say A of 0 equal to 20, A of 1 equal to 30, A of 2 equal to 40, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And now inside this M1 method, if I say sysout, otherwise for loop, for int I is equal to 0, I less than ramji dot length I plus plus sysout ramji of I. So what is happening here? When I run this program, the main method will be called automatically by JRE. When JRE
Yes.
calls the main method, so the entire logic in this main method will be executed. So the
Yes.
first line is
Understood.
you're creating integer array. So and you specify the length of the array is 3, and you are populating the data in the array. You're storing the data in the array at index number 0, 1, and 2. Correct?
Yeah.
You're storing 3 elements in the array. Now what you're doing is you're creating an object of class A, correct? And calling the method M1.
Yes.
So the method
Yes.
M1 will be called. When you are calling the method M1, you have to supply an integer array. You have to pass an integer array to the method M1, correct? So I'm
Yes.
passing this integer array to this variable Ramji, correct? Ramji can accept only integer array because Ramji is of type integer array.
Yes.
Okay.
Of type integer array. If it is integer variable, it will accept only integer values.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can pass only some 5 or 6, something like that, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ramji.
But right now, this Ramji is an integer array. You have to pass an integer array to that variable. The Ramji variable can accept only integer array.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm passing an integer array. A is an integer array. So that array contains 3 values, correct?
Yes.
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 Ramji.
So I'm passing that array to this variable. So now Ramji is pointing to this particular array because you pass the variable A to Ramji. So whatever the value present in A, that is present in Ramji now.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I am iterating the Ramji's array. Ramji dot because this Ramji array contains 3 elements now because the
Yes.
A is passed into this Ramji, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this Ramji contains these 3 values now. I am iterating the for loop and I'm printing. So Ramji dot length means this Ramji's array contains 3 elements. The length of the array is 3.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I'm iterating the for loop and printing the elements Ramji of 0, Ramji of 1, and Ramji of 2. So this
Yes.
Ramji's array contains 3 elements now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So run as Java application. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then run this
Yeah.
program. The main method is called. This array is created. I store the data in the array. I call the method M1 on the class A object because I have to create an object of class A and call the method M1 because M1 is an instance method.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when this M1 is called, this logic will be executed. So when you're calling M1, you have to supply the input. So I'm supplying input A. A is nothing but an integer array. So this entire array is passed into this variable.
Okay.
Okay.
Because is of type
Okay.
integer array. So now inside this when I call the M1, the logic inside the M1 will be executed. So this logic will be executed, and when M1 is completed, the control goes back to this line number 12, and after the line number 12, there is no lines to execute. So main method is completed. So program is completed.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
M2.
D. Oh, D.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So the value of D is 40. So now I'm passing 40 into this method M2, correct?
Yes.
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 So it means the variable B also contains 40.
Yeah.
So I'm passing the value of D into this variable.
Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, I'm passing the value of A into this variable.
Yeah.
So this A contains an array. This is an array, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that array has 3 elements, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I pass this A into this variable, so the entire array I'm passing into this variable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similarly, when I pass D into this variable B, the value of D is passed into the variable B, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is 40 is passed into variable B. Any questions?
No, Ramji.
No,
And
Ramji.
in this class, I'm trying to explain how to write a method. What are the method arguments you can give, and what is the return type of a method? See, if I say return type is class A, you can return class A objects from the method. You have to return class A objects. It is must. When you specify return type is A, when you specify return type is A, you have to return the object of class A. If you don't return, a compiler will give a compilation error.
Yes. Okay, Ramji.
Return type
Okay.
is integer. You have to return an integer value. When you say return type is string, you have to return the string value. That is mandatory and that is must.
Okay, Ramji.
What are the return type you are declaring? You have to return that value. So,
Okay.
and what are the input arguments that you are defining? Here, this method is accepting an array. So you have to supply an array while calling that method.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So now my question is, so when I run this program, what will happen?
It means inside main.
Inside main.
Why this line is getting executed? Because the main method will be called. Correct?
Colors.
All.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is calling the main method?
Overcheck.
The JRE is calling the main method always. The
Again,
JRE will
everyone.
look
Yeah.
So
will be
JRE is
look.
calling the
J.
main method.
Yes.
I want everyone to answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
JRE.
Yes.
Yes.
JRE will
Yeah,
be looking
JRE
for
is
the.
calling the main method, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So when it calls the method, it has to supply one argument. Whenever you are calling a method, this method is expecting an argument, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
String.
Whenever you are calling M1, you supplied an integer value, right? Whenever you called
Yes.
M2, you supplied a string value, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
M is expecting a string value, M1 is expecting an integer value, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that is how those methods are declared. Those methods are declared to accept one integer and accept one string, correct? They are one argument methods.
Yes.
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 So how the main method is declared? The main method is declared in such a way that whenever this method is called, whoever is calling this method, they have to supply the input, correct?
Yes.
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 It is a one argument method,
Yes.
not a
Yes.
zero argument method. It is a one argument method, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what argument you have to pass?
String.
String array.
It has to
String
pass a string array because it is expecting a string array.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
JRE is calling the main method. I am not calling the main method. Agreed?
Yes.
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 So when JRE is calling this method, so JRE has to supply the input argument.
Yes.
Will everyone agree?
Yes.
Yes.
So JRE has to supply the input argument. So JRE has to supply the array. JRE has to create the array and pass the array. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So definitely behind the scenes, JRE has to create one string array, something like this. I don't know what is the length given by the JRE. I don't know. For timing, I'm giving it as 5. I don't know what is the length
Okay.
given by JRE. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So JRE is creating one string array and passing this array, passing this S to this variable.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
is happening behind the scenes. So JRE is creating one string array. and passing that array to this method. Any questions?
Nope.
No.
No, Ramji.
No.
So what is the data in that array? So is JRE keeping any data in that array?
No.
No.
So JRE is just creating the array and passing the array. There is no data.
Yes.
It's not storing any data at index number 0. It is not storing any data at index number 1. It is just creating the array.
Yes.
Yes.
Creating the array and passing that array to this method.
Okay.
Because method is
Okay.
expecting a string array. Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, Ramji.
Yes.
See, this is important. So I want everyone to answer. Is it clear or not?
Yes,
Yeah,
Ramji.
it's clear.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ramji.
So who is calling the main method here?
JRE.
Jerry.
JRE.
When it calls the main method, it has to supply the argument.
Yeah, it has to.
Yes.
It has to be.
Input
It
argument.
will be in the background, as you said.
So behind the scenes, what JRE will do is it will create a string
Create
array
a string.
and pass that string array to this method.
Okay.
Okay, Ramji.
Okay.
Okay.
So and what is the data present in that array?
Nothing. JRE stores
No,
nothing.
no, nothing.
It's an empty array, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That array does not have any data. It created an array,
Created.
but there is no data in the array. It did
Yes.
not
Yes.
populate any data in the array, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So run as, right click run as. Instead of run as Java application, hold on 1 second. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Yes, Ramji.
Yeah. So right click, run as. Instead of running as a Java application, go to the run configurations. Okay.
Mm.
Click on run configurations. You can see this window, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Here you can see arguments, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The main tab here, there's an arguments tab here. Click on the tab. Okay.
Okay.
There's a program arguments and there's a VM arguments, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
So just supply 10 space 20 space 30 space 40. Okay.
Okay.
I supplied 4 arguments. 10 space 20 space 30 space 40. I supplied 4 arguments, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Ramji.
Click apply. Okay.
Okay.
And click run. I'm running the Java application now. I'm running the program. When I click on run, the program will run, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Ramji.
So when I run the program, the main method will be called, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when the main method is called, so the logic inside the main method will be executed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ramji.
So yes, the logic inside the main method is executed and it gave inside main, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Ramji.
So but what is happening? What is the different thing I did here? The different thing that I did here is I supplied 4 arguments, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I run this program, so JRE will call the main method. While calling the main method, it has to pass a string array. It has to create the string array and pass the string array, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Ramji.
So yes, it created the string array and it populated the data in the array. Those 4 values will be kept inside the array and that array will be passed to the main method.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So whatever the values that you give, so the JRE will take those values, JRE will take those arguments, JRE will take those arguments and keep those arguments in the array.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now this array, whatever the array JRE is passing, that array has 4 values.
Yes.
I can prove that. Sys out aux of 0. What is the, I'm asking what is the element that is present at index number 0 in this array?
10. 10.
10.
So out, I'll ask you to print aux of 1. Sys out aux of 2. Correct?
Yeah.
And sys
Yes.
out aux of 3. I'm printing all the 4 values, correct?
Yes.
Let me click
Yes.
here. When I run this Java application, so obviously I already applied the changes. I clicked on apply, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
the arguments are there already. Again, you need not go to the run configurations, and you need not use the arguments here. It's already applied.
Yes.
So next time onwards, you can just run the Java application.
Okay.
When you run the Java application, so what JRE will do is it will go and take the arguments that you provided. It will go and take the arguments that you provided, and it will create a string array and store all these values in that array.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and the pass to this, it will call the main method by passing that array. That is what it is happening behind the scenes when you click on run as Java application. When you say run as Java application, the JRE will go and take the arguments that you supplied and create a string array and keep all these arguments in that array. So all the 4 values are kept in the array. Now then it will call the main method by passing the string array.
Okay.
So you got 10, 20, 30, 40 and inside main.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the entire logic inside the main method is executed. So when the main method is called, it supplied the array here and this logic will be executed, correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
So now I hope it is clear to everyone that what is the meaning of string array. Because on the first day I told that, so this is how you have to write a main method, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Ramji.
Yes.
Because main method is a public method, it is a static method, it does not return any value. Am I returning any value?
No.
No. No.
Method, am I returning any return 5 or 6? Am I doing that like that?
Nope.
No.
It does not. That is why it's a void method, right?
Yes.
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 It does not return any value, and this is the name of the method, and this is the argument of a method. That is one argument method, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what type of argument it is? It is a string
String
array.
array.
Agree.
So when you
String
run the
array.
program, the JRE will call the main method. So JRE has to supply the array to the method. It's JRE's responsibility. It's JRE's responsibility to create the array and supply the array to the method.
Okay.
Okay, Ramji.
So if you don't provide any arguments here, run configurations. I'm sorry.
Java.
Let me plug in the battery first. Hold on. Okay. So is everyone there?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
We are still here.
So yeah, it's JRE's responsibility is to create the string array and pass that array to the main method, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So if I don't, for example, right click, run configurations. If you go to the arguments and remove these arguments and click apply and click run. So now it will give error because at index number 0, because this is an empty array. That array now right now JRE created an empty array because it does not have any data in that array, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So if it is an empty array, If you ask what is the value present in index number 0, obviously there is no value present at index number 0, correct?
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
empty array. It's that array does not have anything. So that's why it is giving error.
Okay.
Anyway, don't forget about this exception because we will talk about the exception handling after 25 to 30 classes, not now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll talk about exceptions and all those things later. But at this point of time, what I wanted you to understand is how to call a method. So if I call a method, it's my responsibility to supply the arguments. If JRE is calling the method, it's JRE's responsibility to supply the arguments, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So JRE has to create the string array and pass that string array. In case if you supply any arguments, then it will take those arguments and keep it in the array and pass the string array, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions here?
No.
No, Ramji.
And one more thing. So in this, see, it is a string array, right? JRE is creating a string array. So it has to store only string data. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
In the string array, can you store integer values?
No.
No.
But then I'm storing integer values, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then how JRE is storing this data in the string array? That is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You should get the doubt. You should think in all aspects. So I said that JRE will create a string array and store the data in the array. So you know that string array can store only string values, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You cannot store integer values in the string array, correct?
Yes.
Yes, of course it is storing string values. It is storing string values. So can I write like this string? I mean, suppose if I create a string array like this, if I create a string array like this, can I write s of 0 equal to 10?
Yeah, in the double quotes string.
10, not an integer 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That is what
Yes.
JR is doing. It is taking the first value and storing it as a string because it knows that it has to store the string.
Yes.
So whatever the arguments you are giving, it is taking each argument as a string.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ramji.
So run configurations, go to the arguments. Now you can give program arguments as ABC, XYZ, 10, 30, 40, YT or something like this. So this is the first string, this is the second string, this is the third string, the fourth string, this is the fifth string. So it will create the string array and pass all these 5 values into the array.
Okay.
Yes.
So apply and run. So I did not write sysout, right? Sysout aux of I for int I is equal to 0, I less than aux dot length I plus plus, correct?
Yes. Yes.
What is the length of that array? It is 5 because we supplied 5 arguments. Based on the number of arguments we supply, the string array is created accordingly.
Okay.
Ramesh, Java application. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So aux of 0, aux of 1, aux of 2 and so on, correct?
Yes.
Any questions here?
No, Ramji.
No,
So
Ramji.
you understand clearly what is a method, what is the input argument, what is a return type, and what is an array, what is a string array, what is an integer array, and all those things.
Yes.
What is
Yeah.
a class A array? Class A array means you can store only class A objects.
Okay.
I told that yesterday. In class
Yeah.
A array, you can store only class A objects. In a string array, you can store only string values. In a Boolean array, you can store only Boolean values, right?
Yes.
So whatever I promised in the first class that I'll talk about the string array, I already complete that. I told what is meant by string array, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So when you run this program, JRE will call this main method and supply that argument. If you supply any arguments, then it will supply, it will create an array and pass that values into the array and
Values.
supply that array, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So is it okay if I extend this class for another 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine, Ramji.
Oh, that's fine.
Everyone? Or you think
Yeah.
it is too much for today?
No way. No, I'm
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So listen carefully. Now I have a class A. In the first project I created com.my package. In that package, I created class A, class B, class C, and human beings class, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me create, in the second project also I'll create new package. I'll create a package called com.package1. You can give any name for the package, correct?
Yeah.
Com.package1, finish. And inside this package, I'll create a class. So I'll create a class called X. So there's a class X in the com.package1, correct?
Yes.
In class A, there is a com.my package, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in the same project, what I'll do is I'll create another package, new package com.package2, something like this. I'll give the package name. So this is the first package, this is the second package in the same project.
Okay.
So in the second package also, I'll create
Class.
new class. So I'll create a class Y. Finish. Okay. Now in the first package, I have 4 classes. In the second package, I have 1 class. Correct?
Yes.
So now what I'm going to do is, inside class A, I want to create the object of class B. Okay?
Okay.
And I want to create the object of class C. So that's all. If you write this statement, the object is created, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So, and every line has to be terminated with a semicolon, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I created an object of class B, I created an object of class C, and I created an object of class human beings, and I want to create an object of class Y also. I want to create the object of class Y also, okay?
Yeah.
So new Y. What is the compilation error here?
Because
Why
it's not in that package.
Package.
So class A does not know what is class Y.
Yes.
Because class A is in one package, class Y is in another package.
Yes.
Yes.
Class A does not know what is class Y.
Yeah.
Right.
But class A knows what is class B, class A knows what is class C, and class A knows what is class human beings. Because all these
Yes.
classes are part of the same package.
Package.
So
Yes.
the classes which are part of the same package know each other. The classes which are part of the same package know each other. Okay?
Okay.
But the classes which are part of the different packages, they don't know each other.
Yeah.
So now if I want to create the object of class Y in class A, it's not possible, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until and unless I told A, I tell A what is Y. If I tell A what is Y, then A knows what is Y, correct?
Yeah.
So I have to make class A aware of class Y, correct? I have to tell A what is Y. If I
Yes.
say what is Y, then class A knows what is Y, then you can create the object of class Y.
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
So how to tell class A what is Y? So what I'll do is, I'll use an import statement,
Package.
import com.package2.y. I am importing class Y into class A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Class Y is present in com.package2, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
now class A knows, oh, class Y is present in this package. The class A will know that now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Ramji, I have a question.
No, one second. Let me complete that you can ask.
Yeah.
Okay? Just hold
Okay.
on. So now class A knows what is class Y. Correct?
Yes.
Told
Yes.
that class Y is part of com dot package 2. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You told it is part of com dot package 2. Now class A knows what is class Y. So because you imported that, you imported class Y into class A.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now the point that I want to make it here is in the first class, I told that whatever you write in Java, you have to write it inside a class.
Yes.
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 But if
Yes.
you observe, I'm writing there are two statements outside the class, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, this is a contradiction to my statement. So there are few statements which you can write outside the class.
Okay.
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 But in the first class, I cannot tell all those things, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why in the first class, I generalize the statement. But I'm changing my statement now. Yes, you can write few things outside the class.
Okay.
You can write few things. So one thing is import. If you want to import any classes from other packages, use the import keyword and give that package name and class Y. What class you want to import? Whether you want to import class Y, whether you want to import class Z, which class you want to import from that package.
Okay.
Because this particular package can contain multiple classes, correct?
Yes.
Right now there is only one class, but if you want to create, you can create multiple classes, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So out of all those classes, which class you want to import, specify here.
Okay.
Okay.
So I am contradicting my statement that yes, you can write few things outside the class. But if you want to generalize, yes, whatever you want to write in Java, you have to write it inside a class only because this is the only exception. This import statement is the only exception and package statement is the only exception. These two are exceptions. Nothing else you can write outside the class. Only these two things you can write outside the class.
Okay.
Okay, Ramji.
So if you want, for example, if you have another class called Z, new class Z in this particular package. Now this package contains two classes, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So now in class A, I want to create the object of class Z. Can I create that?
Yeah. No, because
Not
we
without
didn't
Class
import.
A
importing.
does not know what is class Z. Class A knows
Yes.
what is class Y, but class A does
Yes.
not know what is class Z.
Yes.
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 If I want to tell class A what is class Z, I have to import it. Import
Import.
com dot package 2 dot Z.
Z.
Yes.
So you can write any number of import statements like that. Getting it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what I mean by importing a class into another class. Importing a class into another class. So right now I'm importing class Z into class A.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm telling class A what is class Z. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I
Okay.
can create the object of class Y. I can create the object of class Z. Okay, because even though those classes are part of different package, even though those classes are part of a different package, now class A knows what are those classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now you ask your question.
Yeah, that I got it. You just explain
I
it,
know what
Ramji.
you're going to ask. That's why I asked you to hold on. Okay. So next thing. So actually, he's trying to ask, why did you write outside the class? I already explained that. Yes, there are some exceptions.
Uh,
You can write
no,
few statements outside the class. Correct?
no, that was not the question,
Yes.
Ramji. Like,
Okay. What is the
we,
question then?
yeah, if at all we have multiple classes, like, if we have like n number of classes in class, like the second package, so we have to write the
Multiple
import
import.
statement.
We have to
So
write
we have,
multiple import. Okay.
okay, or
Otherwise, what you can do is simply you can specify com.package2 dot star.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
okay, that's what I
Okay. In
Star means all the classes in the package 2, star is nothing but all the
Yeah.
classes in the package 2 will be imported into class A.
Yeah, that was my question
Okay.
actually, and you answered. Thank you.
Actually, this is not the recommended way. You never write a code like this. This is not a good programming practice. If you are a good developer, you should not write the code like this. You should write multiple statements.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you the reason. Hold on. So, import com dot package 2 dot z. You have to write the multiple import statements and don't import it in one statement, because if I don't need, suppose there are 100 classes in this package, but I
Yeah.
don't want all the 100 classes. I need only 2 classes, class Y and class Z.
Yes.
Why do I need to import all the 100 classes when I don't require that? Correct?
Yes.
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 So when I specify star, all the classes will be loaded here. Correct?
Yes.
I don't want that
Yes.
to happen. I don't want unnecessarily. I don't want to load all the classes. It is a performance issue because it has to load each and every class. It has to load 100 classes into the memory.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not, see, that is in depth. I don't want to go to that level. So try to understand high level. High level, I don't want to import all the classes unnecessarily. I want to import only few classes which are required.
Yeah. Okay, Ramji.
Okay. Did you understand my point?
Yes,
Yes.
I got it.
Yes.
So I always teach the things which are recommended. I don't teach the unnecessary things going forward. Okay.
Okay.
So because this is the way you have to write the programs in the real time. In the real time, if you put star, so no one will appreciate that kind of program.
Okay.
Okay, Ramji.
You have to write multiple imports.
Okay.
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 So now I told 2 points. The first point is, so the classes in the same package know each other. They know each other. You need not import them. So did I import class B here? Did I import class C? Did I import human beings class? No, I did not
No.
import them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
class A knows what is class B, class A knows what is class C, class A knows what is human beings, because they are part of the same package. You need not import them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But class A does not know what is class Y, class A does not know what is class Z, so you have to import them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So next
Yeah.
thing. So assume that now this particular project is developed in my laptop.
Yeah.
This particular project is developed in my laptop, and this particular project is developed in Divya's laptop. Okay.
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 This project is developed in my laptop, and she opened the laptop and she is developing this project. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So let us assume that. So this project is developed in my laptop and this is developed in her laptop. So what she did
Okay.
is in the x.java, she has written one method called add method. Okay. Int a comma int b.
Return type.
Return type is integer.
Indeed.
It will return a plus b. So this is what she developed in the class X. She wrote a
Yeah.
class X. This project is developed in her laptop. She created a package. She created a class, and inside the class she has written one method,
Yeah.
and she made that method as a public method. Don't worry about what is a public method. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she made this method as a public method, and this is a class she has created.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
as part of my program, for some reasons, okay, I'm developing one banking project. I'm developing one banking application. Maybe I'm developing an application for Bank of America.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
as part of this application, I want to add 2 numbers for some reason, because some person deposited the money. So when he deposited the money, so the current balance plus this deposited money is the actual balance, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So I have to write that program. So I have to add 2 numbers, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I have to add 2 numbers. I for some reason I want to add 2 numbers as part of my project. So assume that the add method logic is very complex. So right now this you know that it's very simple, only one line of code. But assume that there is lot of code here. There is 100 lines of code here for adding two numbers. Let us assume that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us assume that it is very complex code. I have to write lot of logic here to add two numbers. Let us assume that.
Okay.
Okay.
So now this particular project is developed in Divya's laptop. She is working for a different company, and I'm working for a different company. I'm developing another project for that company. I'm developing another application for that company. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So as part of my
Yes.
application, I want to add two numbers for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As my application, I want to add two numbers. But add method logic is very complex. It is not straightforward. Let us assume that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You want me to spend my entire time to think about the logic and write those 100 lines of code or 2000 lines of code, whatever the code that I have to write. So I have to spend again 2 days of time or 1 day of time to think about the logic and write the logic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a waste of time, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So if I know, suppose if I can get the code from Divya,
Okay.
if I can reuse the code instead of writing the code again,
Yes.
Okay.
instead of writing the code again, if I can reuse the code, that is easy for me, right? It will make my life easy. I can complete it
Yes.
in 1 second, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I just have to call that method. I don't know what is the logic in that method. I just have to call the method, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't need to think about what is that 100 lines of code or 2000 lines of code, how much ever the code. I don't need to worry about that. I don't worry about that. I just have to call the method and supply the two numbers, correct?
Yeah.
What are the
Yes.
two numbers I want to add? If I want to add 2500 and 2670, so if I want to add those two numbers, just supply those two numbers to this particular method. That's all.
Method.
This method will take care of adding those two numbers and returning the output.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed?
Okay.
Yes.
So, but how will I get this code? This code is there in Divya's laptop, and this project does not know what is this project, because this project is in another laptop and this project is in another laptop. Even if it is in the same laptop, how does this project knows what is this project?
Yes.
Yes.
So the class in this package does not know the class in another package, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I have to import the classes, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Then how
Yes.
does the project knows the other project, correct? It does not know that, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting it?
Yeah.
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 Project, and this is a different project. Even if it is in the same laptop, they don't know each other. Then how come
Yes.
knows about the project in Divya's laptop, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So then what should I do? So I should not spend time again unnecessarily. I should not waste 1 or 2 days of time to write the add method logic, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what Divya can do is she can send this particular project, in the email. Okay.
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 So how can she send this project? So she will send folder by folder, or she will zip the entire thing and send the zip file.
The zip file.
Zip file.
There are so many folders. There's a SRC folder, there's a COM folder, there's a package one folder, there's a x.java. There are so many files, right? She will not send
Yes.
multiple attachments, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How about it's storing in the cloud?
The entire project and send the zip file in the email, correct?
Yes.
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 So what she can do is she can just right click on this project in her laptop and click on export. Click on export. First of all, hold
Okay.
on. Let me save this program first. Yeah, now let me export this project. Right click, export. I want to export the entire project. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to
Okay.
export the entire project as a, so see, look at this Java option. Go
Yeah.
inside this. I
Yeah.
want to export this entire project as a jar file. Jar file is nothing but it's a kind of zip file.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jar file means Java archive. So zip file is nothing but archive file, right? You're archiving in everything into one file, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is a Java archive. It's a kind of zip file. So the entire Java project, right click on that project and click on export. So export as a jar file. Click next. So she has to export this onto a desktop or wherever she wants. So right now I'm exporting it on the desktop. So maybe I will say second project dot jar,
Uh,
because
okay.
every file will have an extension.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
so the zip file will have an extension dot zip, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dot rar file, dot rar, winrar. If you know winrar, winzip, so dot rar, dot zip, correct? Every file will
Yes.
have an extension.
Yeah.
The jar file will also have an extension called dot jar. So click on save and click on finish. Click OK. So now go and look at the desktop. You have a second project.jar. This is the jar file.
Yes.
This jar file contains entire project.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I exported the entire project as a jar file onto my desktop. So Divya has to do that. She has to export the entire Java project as a jar file onto her desktop, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now what she has to do is she has to open her email and attach this jar file and send the jar file to my email address, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Now I got the jar file. Now I got the
Yeah.
jar file, correct? I can
Yeah.
download the jar
Yes.
file from email, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I'll do is in my laptop, I'll go to this project, right click on this project. This is my project. This is my project, and this is
Yes.
Divya's project, right? So
Yes.
now
Yes.
I got this entire project in the email. So just now I'll go to my project, right click on that my project, properties, Java build path, okay. Go to the libraries, click on the libraries, okay.
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 Add external jars, okay, and go to the desktop, because I already downloaded from the email and kept it on my desktop, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'll
Yes.
do is second project.jar, click open, click OK. So now my project knows what is second project because I kept it on the Java build path.
Yes.
Now my
Yes.
project knows what is second project. Getting it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So earlier, if you observe here, this particular class knows what is class B. This particular
Yes.
class knows what is class C. But this particular class does not know what is class Y and class Z. So I have to import those classes into class A, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they're part of the same project. Those packages are part of the same project, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
But if I want to import com dot package 2 package 1 dot x, so this particular class x is not part of this project, it is part of another project, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if
Yes.
I import it, so this project does not know what is this package.
Yes.
It means I have to tell this project what is this project. I have to keep this, I have to export this entire project as a jar file and keep the jar file on the build path of this project.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
right click and properties, Java build path, add external jars, add the jar, click OK. So now this project knows what is this project because you kept this entire project on the build path of this project.
Yes.
Yes.
So now this project, when you say com.package1, it is not giving any compilation error.
Okay.
Suppose if I
Okay.
remove it from the build path, right click on properties, Java build path, just select this, click remove. If you remove it from the build path, now this project does not know what is this package, because there is no package called com.package1 in this project, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you're trying to import it, it is giving a compilation error, correct?
Yes.
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 So what I'll do is I will tell this project what is this project first of all, because this project contains package 1. The second project contains package 1, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if I tell first project what is second project, then the first project knows everything about the second project. It knows what is package 1 and everything, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
How do I say that? Right click on the project, properties,
Properties.
Java build path, add external jars, and click on second project.jar. Okay. So now first project knows what is second project. So everything about second project. All the packages in the second project is known to first project now. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So now put what is com.package package 1. There is no compilation error now.
Yes.
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 Do you see any compilation error there? Do you see any red mark there?
No.
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 So now I can say new class X because I already imported class X, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
1 second, hold on. Let me mute it. 1 second. Okay, guys. So is everyone there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
So you have to create an object of class X now and call the add method because the class X contains the add method. So I'll pass 45 comma 76. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I call the add method on the class X object, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if I have to call the add method, I need an object of class X, correct?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but class X is written in a different project, not in my project, correct?
Yes.
So first of all, I have to import that class X, but my project does not know. So my project does not know what is this package called com.package 1, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So I have to make my project aware of this particular project, correct?
Yes.
Okay, guys, I think I have to stop this class. My kid is crying. I'll talk to you in the evening class. I'll explain this again in detail. Okay.
Okay, Ramji.
Okay. Okay, Ramji.
So
Ramji, please send this video again.
I will meet again at 9:30 Eastern time.
Okay.
9:30.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Bye.